Okay, so we went over the product rule. We went over the quotient rule. Now we're going to work on the power rule. Alright, so one simple thing. To apply the power rule, all you do is raise a power to a power by multiplying the exponents. That's all you need to do. So let's look at an example here. Alright, so we have the examples that you have on your document sheet. Alright, so to raise a power to a power, all we need to do is multiply the exponents. These are the exponents, right? So we're raising this up, so all we're going to do is multiply those. That's all you need to do, is multiply the 2 and the 4. That gives us a final answer of keeping the base, the 3. We multiply 2 times 4, and that gives us a total of 8. So that's your answer, 3 to the 8th power. Simple as that. You're just multiplying the exponents. So you have an exponent above the 3, and you have an exponent above everything that is within the parenthesis. So raising that power to a power. Now, we have 5/3. We have a fraction. We're going to do the same thing. And remember, as I stated in the last 2 videos, there's always an imaginary 1. So there's a little imaginary 1 on this 5 and an imaginary 1 above this 3. We just don't like to write them in mathematics. So where are our bases now? Now that we gave us a visual of an exponent, now we can see we have 2 bases, the 5 and the 3. Those are the bases, right? So let's go ahead and keep those bases the same and bring those out here. And then what do we do with the power rule? When we are going to apply the power rule, we raise a power to a power by multiplying the exponents. Well, now we have 2 exponents to multiply here. We have the 2 times 1 and that 2 times this 1. Because that 2, remember, is covering everything within this parenthesis. So it needs to be applied to both of these. It needs to apply there, and then it needs to be applied here. So 2 times 1 is going to give us a 2. Right? 2 times 1. Right? So we multiplied the first one. 2 times 1, and it gave us this 2. Now we're going to go ahead and do this 2 times this 1 down here. That's also going to give us a 2. So now we have 5 squared over 3 squared. Can we apply the quotient rule here? Our exponents are the same. Can we apply the quotient rule? I'm assuming you said no, because it's the bases that need to be the same, right? And the bases are the 5 and the 3. They are not the same, so we cannot apply the quotient rule. Okay, so that's as far as we would go with this. This can be simplified further by 5 squared and 3 squared, but I'm not asking you to do that. All I'm doing is asking you to apply the power rule. So that's as far as we will go. If you want to go further, you are welcome to do that. Challenge yourself. That is not wrong. You could go further. 5 squared, that'd be what, 5 times 5? That means 5 times itself 2 times. So this would be 5 times 5. Right? And that would give us a 25. Okay, a lot of people make the mistake in thinking you multiply 5 times 2. No, 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 no. This is telling you to multiply that number, that base to itself, that many times. So you multiply that base 2 times. 1, 2. Okay, and we do the same down here. 3 squared would be 3 times 3. And that would give us 9. And that would be your final answer. It's improper fraction. Our top numerator is bigger than our denominator. So we would just leave it that way. It's improper. That's fine. If you can reduce it, reduce it. If you want to make it into a mixed number, you are welcome to do that as well. There's no wrong in going further. Okay? All right. Back to what we were working on, the power rule. Okay, so let's go to this top one up here. We have 2p within parentheses. All of that is going to be squared. So, we have a number that is next to this p, right? So, remember what this is called? It's called the coefficient. Just like we did down here, 5 squared, 5 times 5, 3 squared, 3 times 3. This is the same thing. 2 squared, that's going to break down to 2 times 2. All right, and that's going to give us a 4. All right, so that's done. But now we need to do this p squared. And what happens? There's an imaginary 1 there, remember? And then we're going to multiply the exponents here. All right, 1 and 2. And that's going to give us a 2. So now our final answer is going to be 4p squared. 4p squared. So this 2 squared gave us a 4. The p, we multiplied the imaginary exponent of 1 times 2, gave us a 2. So that means that came out to be p squared. Okay, so your final answer would be 4p squared. So on something like this, you do apply the exponent to that coefficient, all right? You go further, 2 times 2, you do it on that one. Okay, so let's go on to this next one. We have x squared and y all within parentheses cubed to the third power, cubed, okay? All right, so keep our base, which is an x, multiply our exponents, 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 gives us a 6. Okay, and then go ahead and do the y. Y, what do we apply there? That imaginary 1, remember, imaginary 1. So 1 times 3, 1 times 3 is 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. So your answer here is 6 and 3 are the exponents, right? So x to the 6th power, y to the 3rd power. Let's do another. All right, so remember I told you guys earlier, if we have something like this, and let's go for, and what? So how do we do this? There's an imaginary 1 for all of these. Right? So you can do 4 times 1. And I'll do these color coded. So I'll do the x in blue. And if 1 times 4 is 4. Then we'll do the y in green. And 1 times 4 is 4. And then we'll do the z in yellow. 1 times 4 is 4. So that 4 was applied to everything within this parenthesis, as you can see. Okay? And remember when we work with these, it can also be something like, let's go 2a and, no, that won't work. right? Why don't you try to do this on your own? Pause the video, solve it on your own. Let's see if you get the same answer I would. Okay, so I assume you worked on that on your own. You're gonna match your answer against mine. Let's do 2 to the third power, or 2 cubed. That means 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So this is going to be 8. All right, and then add A. And we're going to multiply 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. So your answer should be A to the 9th. 8. A to the 9th. Okay, so go down on your worksheet, down to the power rule. We did these 4 examples. I did a couple more. And then apply the power rule. All right, you did the product rule already. And I'm sure you went through the quotient rule. Now apply your power rule. Okay? And then at the end, I want you to check yourself. Okay, answer these questions. So delete the words that don't match. So the first one, the product rule. The exponents are supposed to be what? Added, subtracted, divided, multiplied. How do we apply the product rule? What do we do with the exponents? All right, whatever answer is correct, leave it. The others, go ahead and delete them. Or if you want to use your highlighter, you can highlight the correct answer. All right, so go ahead and answer these 4 questions. I want to see your knowledge. Check your knowledge. Exit ticket, all right? Go ahead and work on that. A little bit of everything there, all right? Be aware. This number here, do me a favor and change this to a positive 5. Positive 5 on yours. Change that to a positive 5. Okay? Change that to a positive 5. All right, and go ahead and apply. All right, and work on it. Challenge yourself. And then explain on the bottom. Remember I told you in the beginning of class, oh, if you were in my class, you would have seen the lecture. You need to be able to explain it sometimes. So if you can't explain, how do you apply the product rule? Okay, in writing. Write it out. Good luck.